The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, show number 673. Welcome to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, helping you celebrate Celtic culture through music. I am Mark Gunn, and this podcast is for fans of Celtic music, not just the big names you've heard of, but also the Celtic bands in your neck of the woods at your festivals. It is here to build a diverse Celtic community and help the incredible artists who so generously share their music with you. If you hear music you love, please email the artists to let them know you heard them on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Musicians depend on your generosity to keep making music, so please find a way to support them by a CD, album pen, shirt, digital download, or join their communities on Patreon. You can find a link to all the artists in the show notes, along with show times, when you visit our website at CelticMusicPodcast.com. And if you know of a Celtic band or artist that's on Patreon, drop me a line. Follow at bestcelticmusic.net so that I can add them to my list of Patreon Celtic musicians. So I'd love to do that. So this podcast is a proud sponsor of Irish Fest Atlanta. The festival takes place November 8th through 10th, 2024. Cherish the Ladies and the Riel sisters are headlining, and I hope to share some interviews with some of the artists performing there as we get a little closer to the festival. A large portion of the event is free to attend, so make sure you come out. However, there are some special concerts and workshops available, and you can buy tickets to those right now. Go to irishfestatlanta.org for more details. And if you're out there, I have a show with my daughter, Inara. We're kicking off the Saturday music schedule, so please come join me. Again, it's a free concert. I am also still looking for Celtic designs to promote the podcast in 2025. If you create Celtic art or know someone who might be interested, please email me. This actually will just let you know, if I do select your art, you will get compensated financially for sharing your art with the podcast. So send an email, follow at bestcelticmusic.net. And if you're a Celtic musician, you can also send an email there to find out how to submit music to the podcast to be played on this show. Finally, if you follow the podcast on Patreon, you might have noticed a new feature. You can now get a countdown to the episode release on Wednesday at noon Eastern. You'll be able to stream the show and chat with other patrons of the podcast. I've been wanting something like this for a long time. It gives us the opportunity to have a live stream, which is just fantastic, and interaction with other patrons. So I'm thrilled that Patreon made it possible, and I'd love it if you'd come join us next Wednesday at noon. I'm sure there'll be a hiccup in the process, but I would love to see you out there on Patreon. All right, we kicked off the show with the Drowsy lads. That was Virginia Reels from Wide Awake. Next up is Cleveland Celtic Ensemble with Burning the Piper's Hut from their self-titled album.
big band was playing, sweethearts were swaying in the light of a Montana moon. There was joy in the air, seemed the whole town was there to step to your hit parade tune. I was only 18, but I felt like a king when I saw you up watching the band. And just on a chance, I asked you to dance, and you smiled when you took my hand. Come out tonight, Millie, we'll go dancing, because tonight is a night for romancing. Out through the garden and out o'er the hills, I wish we could be there still. With the paintbrush in blue and the help of the moon, I courted you all summer long, and we'd run off at will to the top of the hill while the band kept on playing our song. Well, the bands kept playing on, and the years they rolled along. We had babies to bounce on our knees. But once in a while, when you'd wink and then smile, I'd sweep you off to the gardens with me. Come out tonight, Millie, we'll go dancing, because tonight is a night for romancing. Out through the gardens and out o'er the hills, I wish we could be there still. Not all years were kind, as we would soon find, but our love kept us warm from the chill. And the next thing you know, the kids had all grown and gone a dancing up on the hill. Well, the kids, they moved away, and it happened one day. Their minds said they'd found a new low, and the whole city cried when the company decided the Columbia Gardens must go. Come out tonight, Millie, we'll go dancing, because tonight is a night for romancing. Out through the gardens and out o'er the hills, I wish we could be there still. Well, they brought in their shovels and they blasted away, and they stripped her like all of the rest. 65 years, all gone down to dust, and they still haven't found that load yet. Now we are old, and the wind it blows cold where the gardens and the bands used to be. But your hand still fits mine, and your bright eyes still shine as we go waltzing in our memory. Come out tonight, Millie, we'll go dancing, because tonight is a night for romancing. Out through the gardens and out o'er the hills, I wish we could be there still. Tonight, Millie, we'll go dancing, because tonight is a night for romancing. Out through the gardens and out o'er the hills, I wish we could be, I wish we could be, I wish we could be there still.
For I have a diamond in my eye, where all my joy and fancies lie. Now I'd give her gold and I'd give her pearls, if only she'd fancy to be my girl. And all such costly robes she'd wear, if only she'd fancy to be my dear. For it's not your gold would me entice to leave my friends for your advice. I never intend to marry at all, or be at any young man's call. So I picked up his hat, he was going away. She said, don't go, young man, but stay. Stay, oh stay, my heart is true. I never will wed a man but you. So write me down the powers above that first created a man to love. For I have a diamond in my eye, where all my joy and fancies lie.
After Cleveland Celtic Ensemble came Dublin Gulch with the Ballad of Willie and Millie and Margaret's Waltz. It's from Tapper Light. Then Mary Frances Leahy with First Light. Write Me Down by Goitse was finishing up the set. It's from their album Rosc. I want your feedback. What are you doing today while listening to the podcast? You can send a written comment along with a picture of what you're doing while listening. Email a voicemail message to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. I had 2 messages come in about Gretna Green after I mentioned it in episode number 671. Shell O'Toole wrote, "Hi Mark, it was interesting to hear you refer to Gretna Green. My knowledge of it was as a place that people eloped to. A quick search of Google confirmed my memories. It was interesting to discover Gretna is a town built during World War I. The village of Gretna Green is still thriving and it sounds like a great place to visit. It is certainly on my list of places to visit should I get to fulfill my dream of going to Scotland. I discovered in the past couple of years my maternal grandmother's family is from Ayrshire in Scotland. They came from a village called Poitin. I look forward to hearing about your whiskey tour and seeing photos of Scotland. I'm really enjoying today's show, number 671. Thanks for all the great music, Mark Slancha." You're super welcome, Shell. And Wayne Myers wrote, "Hi, Mark. I was listening to this episode 671 after playing soccer today and heard you mention the Scottish village of Gretna Green. There's a fantasy author named Lindsay Day who lives there and has her book series set there. I know she is amenable to answering questions because she answered mine. Her book series is the Midlife Recorder series, which starts with midlife in Gretna Green. Love the show, Slancha." Thanks so much, Wayne. Yes, I will reach out to her. Thanks for sending the email as well. Mary Lynn Deal sent a message on Patreon. Hey, Mark, I'm doing some 3D printing and office work at home while listening today. Still enjoying every minute. Have a wonderful day, Sláinte. And finally, Rod Nevin commented on Patreon. Lovely collection of music. By the way, Mark, I have to tell you, because I know you'd want to know, the tune title for Arise and Go has Strathspey and Reels, and the correct pronunciation for Strathspey is Strathspey. Last syllable being what Bob Barker always mentioned us to do to our pets. Awesome. Thank you, Rod. Strathspey. Thank you. I'll try to remember that for the future. Feel free if I screw it up again, let me know. Enda Reilly is up next with his new album, Hi Brazil. This is Await from My Heart.
울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려오는 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려오는 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리 When I'm feeling lost, it's then that you find me and lead me home to where my soul shines bright. Take me home tonight, down the old Bombay and around the avenue to where the crescent trees come into view. The streets of my youth. 울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려운 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려운 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리 Train number 9 coming down the railway line. If the train goes off the track, do you want your money back? 울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려오는 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려온 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리 And if you lose your way, trust in me and see your path will illuminate. We create our own fate and 울어가무크리 보이는 두근두럭와 그려오는 열에서 두모스터르 무크리 울어가무크리
darling's name is. Through the bar near her features they were famous. If we loved her, who was there to blame us? But wasn't she the bride of Petrovor? But her beauty made us all so shy. Not a man among us could look her in the eye. Boys and girls, sure that's the reason why we're mourning for the bride of Petrovor. Eileen Oak, me heart is going grey ever since the day you wandered far away. Eileen Oak, there's good fish in the sea, but there's none of them like the bride of Petrovor. Friday at the fair of Ballad, Eileen met McGrath, a kettle jobber. I'd like to set me mark up on the rubber, for he stole away the bride of Petrovor. He never seemed to see the girl at all, even when she juggled him from underneath her shawl. Looking big and masterful when she was looking small, most provoking for the bride of Petrovor. Eileen Oak, me heart is going grey ever since the day you wandered far away. Eileen Oak, there's good fish in the sea, but there's none of them like the bride of Petrovor. Eileen Oak was bent up on the winning. Big McGrath contentedly is grinning, being courted by the bride of Petrovor. Says he, I know a girl that could knock you into fits. As this Eileen nearly lost her wits, and the upshot of their action was that now the rubber sits with his arm around the bride of Petrovor. Since the day you wandered far away. Eileen Oak, there's good fish in the sea, but there's none of them like the bride of Petrovor. Boys and girls, with faith is hard to grapple. Of me, this Eileen was the apple. Now to see her walk into the chapel with the hardest featured man in Petrovor. And now that's all I have to say. When you do your courting, make no display. If you want them to run after you, just walk the other way, for they're mostly like the bride of Petrovor. Eileen Oak, me heart is growing grey ever since the day you wandered far away. Eileen Oak, there's good fish in the sea, but there's none of them like the bride of Petrovor. Eileen Oak, me heart is growing grey ever since the day you wandered far away. Eileen Oak, there's good fish in the sea, but there's none of them like the bride of Petrovor.
After Enda Reilly came Poitin Band with Louis Riel and Free Gardeners from Banks of Red River. Then Aneta Dortová and Emmanuel de Simon with Eileen Og from Tunes of the Traveling Dance Masters. And we finish up the set with Charlene Adzima with What Care I for the Minister and Humors of Whiskey from The Initiation. Thank you so much, patrons of the podcast. You are my shining light each and every week. I really appreciate your generosity, and because of that, of course, you get music, so it pays to be kind, I guess. Your kindness pays for our engineer, graphic designer, Celtic Music Magazine editor, promotion of the podcast, and allows me to buy the music I play here. It also pays for my time in creating the show each and every week. As a patron, you get ad-free and music-only episodes before regular listeners. You get to vote in the Celtic Top 20. You get standalone stories. You get a private feed to listen to the show, or you can listen through the Patreon app. All that for as little as $1 per episode. Special thanks to our new and continued patrons of the podcast, Jay and Brian Herndon. Thank you so much. Here is your 3-step plan to support the podcast. Number 1, go to our Patreon page. Number 2, decide how much you want to pledge every week. $1, $5, $10, $13, $17, $25, $185. Make sure to cap how much you want to spend per month. And number 3, keep listening to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast to celebrate Celtic culture through music. You can become a generous patron of the podcast on Patreon at songhenge.com. I want to do a Patreon membership drive in the near future, but I got to get my head around it and figure out when I'm going to do that. Find the time. I'm still prepping for my whiskey tour of Scotland, which of course, if you want to travel with me, I do host Celtic Invasion Vacations, and you can learn about Galicia when it's available. That's where we're going in 2025, or at least Galicia. There might be another one, but just go sign up at the mailing list at CelticInvasion.com to find out for sure. Any case, we're going to continue on with Sheridan Rúitín with Peppermill South from Rebels in the Night.
The Peppermill is my favorite pub. I love their wings and their sweet dry rub. I'll drink my sorrows when I'm full of me grub. Come down to the Pep, for she's my only love.
I'll know when it's time to walk down that way, when the sun starts to set and I've worked all the day. Oh well, I'll put on my good shoes and jeans with no stains, and then I'll gather up the old boys. I'm off on my way.
The first one I see is good old Sweet Pete. I know just where to look as he's got his own seat. He's taken an order but still shakes my hand. If ever he's not there, then I'd surely be damned.
Behind the bar, with her curly black hair, is Shannon the rock star, serving up her own flair. She brings me my first beer, and of course it's for free. And when she's off of her shift, she'll come and sit next to me.
Extra smooth and the chips are just fine. The high cedar stools up to scratch as we dine. A tall glass of whiskey goes down mighty nice. I'm feeling quite buzzed, so I'll be here all night.
You see one boy in there, and the shots run his life. He comes on his way home as he just lost his wife. But all is good in the Peppermill Hall, as long he's got cash to play the quick draw.
Now Katie walks in, and she's a head lass. She fills me my drink and shares a quick laugh. She'll make you feel good while you're drinking your beer. The best smile in town always lends a good ear.
it's time to go. My boys, it's got late. Last call was 3 rounds ago, so eat up your plate. I'll race the sun home before I see daylight. But surely you'll find me in here the next night. Yeah, surely my girl and I will be in a fight. So surely you'll find me in here the next night.
Brangan's corner one morning I did stray. I met a fellow rebel there, and to me he did say, we have orders from a captain to assemble at Dunbar, but how are we to get there without a motor car? Oh Barney dear, be of good cheer, I'll tell you what we'll do. The specials there are plentiful, but the IRA are few. We'll send a wire to Johnson to meet us at Sunrise, and we'll give the boys a fun to get right in Johnson's motor car. Dr. Johnson heard the news, he soon put on his shoes. He says this is an urgent case and I have no time to lose. He then put on his castor hat and upon his best to start. You could hear the din all through and bin of Johnson's motor car. But when he got to the railway bridge, the rebels he saw there, well, Johnson knew the game was up for at him, they did stare. He says they have a permit to travel near and far. What the hell, your English permit? We want your motor car. My loyal brethren think when they hear the news, my car it has been commandeered, the rebels at Toulouse. We'll give you a receipt for it, all signed by Captain Barr. And when Ireland gets her freedom, you'll get your motor car. Well, we put the car in motion and filled it to the brim with taunting guns and bayonets at Madel, Johns and Grim. And Barney hoisted a Sinn Féin flag and fluttered like a star. And we gave 3 cheers to the IRA and Johnson's motor car.
fun and laugh across the cloudy skies? Would you squander all your Nancy whiskies and tell stories of your pair of brown eyes? All is lost, all is gone. You found yourself, but now you lost someone. You can't afford to throw it all, you can't afford to throw it all away. You can't afford to throw it all, you can't afford to throw it all away. Oh, the dream will take you away. When your clock starts to ring and you still are hanging over, do you say goodnight and sleep until noon? And your glass is nearly empty and the barman says we're closed. You say, honey, I'll be coming home soon. Are you wandering down the street, pulling off your feet? And your life, is it a bump in the road? Is a toast to all the people who have put you in your place, and your God who's lost the soul that you sold? All is lost, all is gone. You found yourself, and now you lost someone. You can't afford to throw it all, you can't afford to throw it all away. You can't afford to throw it all, you can't afford to throw it all away. Oh, the dream will take you, oh, the dream will take you away.
After Sheridan and Rúitín came Clanna Morna with Johnson's Motorcar, From the Lowlands to the High Seas. Then the Tan and Sober Gentlemen released a new single, Leaving of Liverpool, from the Har River Ballroom. And we finished up the set with Larkin and Moran brothers with Drake Street Rainbow. That was Eistig. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I hope you had a wonderful time this week. I will be back again next week, and I'm also planning to be on the live stream over on Patreon when the episode drops next Wednesday at noon. So stay tuned for that. Remember to vote in the Celtic Top 20. This is our way of finding the best songs and artists each year. You can vote for as many songs and tunes that inspire you in this episode and each episode. Your vote helps me create next year's Best Celtic Music of 2024, and we're over halfway through the year, so get those votes in. All right, we're going to finish up the show with the Ciderhouse Rebellion with Molly Donnery. This is the Kilmacthomas Girl from A Little Bit Slanted. I hope you have a wonderful week. Sláinte.
Oh, on my rambles here and there were tall ones and small ones, you'll find them everywhere. But of all the pretty girls I've met from the mountains to the sea, sure the Kilmacthomas girl is the one that pleases me. She's as fine a girl as you could wish to see. I'd marry her this minute if she only would agree. How I wish that I could coax her down to Caroon with me. The Kilmacthomas girl is the best of quality. The dance I met her and she gave me such a start. In fact I can't forget her, for she stole away my heart. I cannot tell what clothes she wore, I couldn't even guess, 'cause while I was staring at her face I never saw her dress. She is as fine a girl as you could wish to see. I'd marry her this minute if she only would agree. How I wish that I could coax her down to Caroon with me. The Kilmacthomas girl is the best of quality. Now I'm losing every job I get for work. I'm not inclined. It's hard for me to work at all. There's so much on me mind. I'm planning how to get her so I'll have enough to do. And if she says she'll marry me, I'll work as good as two. She's as fine a girl as you could wish to see. I'd marry her this minute if she only would agree. I wish that I could coax her down to Caroon with me. For the Kilmacthomas girl is the best of quality. Sure I cannot sleep a wink, and I know you won't believe me when I tell you what I think. And sure when I'm tired of thinking I go down into the glen. I stand outside her window and go back to bed again. She is as fine a girl as you could wish to see. I'd marry her this minute if she only would agree. How I wish that I could coax her down to Caroon with me. The Kilmacthomas girl is the best of quality. Well, tonight I'm going to meet her and I'll tell her straight and plain. Behold, if she refuses me, I'll never stand the strain. But behold, if she refuses me, and sure I still survive, well, I'll join the monks in Mallory for as long as I'm alive. She is as fine a girl as you could wish to see. I'd marry her this minute if she only would agree. How I wish that I could coax her down to Caroon with me. The Kilmacthomas girl is the best of quality. She is as fine a girl as you could wish to see. I'd marry her this minute if she only would agree. How I wish that I could coax her down to Caroon with me. Oh, I wish
The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast is produced by Mark Gunn, the Celt Father, and our patrons on Patreon. The show is edited by Mitchell Peterson with graphics by Moran and Nelson Designs. Visit our website to follow the show. You will find a link to all the artists played in this episode. Todd Wiley is the editor of the Celtic Music Magazine. Subscribe to get 34 Celtic MP3s for free, plus you'll get 7 weekly news items about what's happening with Celtic music and culture online. Best of all, you will connect with your Celtic heritage. Please tell one friend about this podcast. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to support any creative endeavor. And finally, remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, and think about how you can make a positive impact on your environment. Promote Celtic culture through music at CelticMusicPodcast.com.